Wednesday, December 10th. This is the Automotive State of the Union. I'm with these two guys again. We got Michael Cirillo on my right, Kyle Mountsier on my left, and we are in Syracuse, New York for some very important. What's so important?
I'm struggling with the fact that the minute you said with these two guys, both Michael and I went. You can't see us. It was so identical.
You know what the funny part is that like this close. It was this close to being goons, not guys.
If you would have done that.
Based on your reaction, I probably
You probably should have said goons. It's okay. We're here for some important meetings. We are hanging out with our team, and we're setting the intention for the entirety of 2026. The More Than Cars team obviously means so much to the industry. We hope, we believe, and we're calling people to this More Than Cars mindset. But it also means calling our team, and so we're setting intention. We got to celebrate yesterday, be with the team. Food, do presents, play games, all of that. But I'm excited about today and getting this team ready to serve the industry well. So
you're supposed to say something now, Michael.
Yeah, that's a 1, 2. Now you say stuff.
Okay, we come.
You think a guy's a professional? He's done more podcasts than us.
I was like, they said it all. Yeah. They said it all. Well, you know what it has me thinking about is the level of intentionality you need to put into team meetings to make sure that everybody's aligned.
Yeah.
Often what happens in organizations is you like to think you're the tip of a spear, but really you scatter. It's like somebody sets an intention and then everyone goes. So I'm looking forward to being here with the team today to make sure that we are all coming together, that all roads are aligned, and that everybody understands the purpose and the mission of what we're about to accomplish in 2026.
Yeah, but we have some news to talk about today.
Let's get into
We're going to
it.
talk about car payments, topic of conversation, VinFast shrinking their dealer count, and a little PDF that we've been paying attention to from VaynerMedia talking about trends in 2026. But first, we want to thank our friends at Mia for being the sponsor of today's show. There are a few things in life that are worse than dealership hold music. You know it. I know it. Somewhere, Neil Diamond knows it. That's why Mia exists. She answers every call instantly. No menus, no trees, no pan flute covers of Sweet Caroline. I think Michael could do that. With under 2 seconds of latency, Mia is the fastest, most human-sounding AI in the industry. She integrates with over 35 dealer systems, books appointments, checks inventory, and helps real customers in real time, all without putting anyone on hold. We've all heard it. Can you hold for just a moment?
Oh.
No. Dealers can lose up to 50% of their inbound calls due to missed calls, long hold times, and overwhelmed staff, and Mia fixes all of that. Your CSI goes up, your stress goes down, and the pan flute retires.
And copyright.
Done.
No, we're not getting flagged for that. We're
Copyright
not getting flagged for that. Okay, let's talk about some news. New vehicle payments hit a November record at $760, but underneath the headlines, several affordability pressures are actually starting to ease. We haven't said that in a year. Softer interest rates, used car values are helping cushion buyers as the market normalizes. Rates dipping to 6.1%. Robust used car values are keeping trade and equity near historic highs now. Buyers paid just 89% of sticker on average, which is an improvement from last year's 90%. Dealers' profits stay steady at $2,161 per vehicle, showing some stability. However, negative equity rose to 27% of all trades, and lease expirations are down 15% year over year and 50% since 2023.
Wow.
Here's J.D. Power's Thomas King. He said, quote, how aggressively manufacturers choose to adjust discounting and promotional activity during December will be critical in shaping the close of 2025, and we are just about 20-ish days away.
Wow. I mean, the big one here for me is the lease expirations that are dropping. We knew that this was coming. This time was coming when the leases went through the roof, when rates went through the roof, when residuals weren't hanging on strong, and we knew we were going to have a disparate used car market. But now we've got an aggressive new car market where supply hasn't really caught up, where pricing incentives haven't caught up. However, you know, Q4 has meant a lot to manufacturers in the fact that it hasn't been at the pace that really Q1 and Q2, Q3 saw the benefit of EVs, and early reports on those October numbers are showing like, hey, we might need to pace up incentives. So it'll be interesting. Haven't heard a lot about incentives the first part of December. It'll be interesting to see if some of those manufacturers that like to put in
Santa's bag,
those kind of second half of the month
they're going to
incentives
be
do
dropping
that.
soon, right? It's the 9th. So
Right.
if we're going to see them, we're going to see them in the next 7
Yeah,
days.
will be interesting. Yeah.
Michael?
I got nothing except for this is the theme of today's show.
Here comes
I
the
got nothing
pamphlet.
except for
The words that I say to my teenage boys are coming to my mind right now. Pay attention. Because, the ability that we have to shake and move when we are paying attention is far greater and far more advantageous than when we're not paying attention. And it's incumbent upon every dealer. Every business has the opportunity, if paying attention, to say, what would we do if we experience X? What would we do if we experience Y? And so you have a market that's like doing this, and you don't know what are the OEMs doing? What are politicians doing? What is our market doing? To sit down, I guess a full circle moment to what we're doing here as a company, to say, if we experience this, what will our response be?
Yeah.
If this, what's our response? If this is our response? And you look at some of the operators in our industry who are paying attention, who do have response plans, and the way in which they navigate, or almost the grace in which they navigate these types of, wishy-washy markets, is far more inspiring to observe than.
Well, what you're talking about is being proactive about your planning, right?
Right.
That it's not singular plans. It's like modular plans.
That's right.
Things that can pivot on a dime. If we're only creating reactivity in our businesses, then you're definitely behind. And paying attention requires some level of future planning.
Speaking of reactivity.
Yo.
Segue.
When Nathan
Got him. Look, when Nathan drops his hits his fingers up like that, you know he's on. Yeah.
It's art in motion. VinFast retreat from the U.S. market is accelerating as its retail network falls below 24 active stores. Falling sales, stalled product plans, and shifting global priorities are prompting dealers to exit while the brand refocuses on markets where demand is stronger. Holman's North Carolina store, which is VinFast's first U.S. franchise, ends sales December 31st, marking the third dealer exit in 6 months. U.S. registrations fell 57% through October, even after as overall EV sales are growing 11% in the same period. High import tariffs and the loss of the $7,500 EV tax credit have further eroded their U.S. competitiveness. Several listed stores now show no inventory or coming soon, and many active rooftops have 15 or fewer vehicles on the ground. Here's a quote from VinFast chairwoman, this is too early for me.
Tweely.
There you go. Given the tariff situation and the instability of in the EV market, we just need to see how this settles before we push hard in the U.S.
Okay. Controversial opinion of the day.
He was ready for this.
Ah, man. Hit him.
Sometimes, I just wish chair people would keep their mouths shut for a minute. Why? Well, let's look at EV Auto Alex, our friend, Alex Lawrence. He specifically says you need to be all in on EVs if you're going to be in on EVs at all. You can't be a little bit in on EVs. So now you have VinFast, which should be all in on EVs, but most of the dealers that are buying them with historical or traditional franchise dealer models. And I don't think they're prepared yet of their own infrastructure to be like, okay, but what does it actually mean to be all in on EVs? We can't sell these things the way that we would sell any other vehicle. And you look at some of the franchise stores who have EV lineups, Hyundai or Kia. It actually requires a shift in
Massive
process
shift,
for them to wrap their head around it. And so, I have so many questions. I'm not saying anybody's doing anything right or wrong or indifferent. What I am saying, though, is it's one thing to be like, well, it didn't work. I would really want to examine the operational structure of
who and why it didn't work with. Yeah.
Exactly. Because, there's obviously a model for it. I was picked up in an Uber last night in an EV, and the guy was like, I own 3 EVs.
Yeah.
In Syracuse, right?
Yeah.
In the winter.
It's 10 degrees out right now.
So I keep coming back to Alex Lawrence, our pal, and he's like, you got to be all in. It's a different way to sell.
It's a different way to sell. It's a different consumer base. The interesting thing for me is I haven't seen VinFast advertising at all.
It's gone dark.
It seems like it's gone dark. So I don't know if they're trying to do like micro trend type stuff or very, very hyper localized. But for a brand like that, trying to enter a market where Rivian and Tesla and even Scout now have taken the bull by the horns and gone very, very fast into like, I mean, VinFast was nowhere to be found at LA Auto Show, right? Yeah,
you would think that would be a great.
That's the place to go and put your brand front and center. So they either don't have the capital or the understanding of what it takes to aggregate attention in a market like the U.S. And so that's, I
think they have the capital. They're very well capitalized company. Right. I think they've just lost the plot, or maybe they're just like it's sometimes you make decisions because it's hard here, but you make decisions because if you allocate those resources where it's much easier, it makes a lot more sense. And I think that's.
I would also challenge to Michael's point, if you're a dealer or a dealer group that still has one of these franchises, ask yourself, am I doing business in a way that, like, am I following Alex Lawrence on these channels, right? Am I following a Jimmy Douglas that understands the EV market? Am I watching what those people are posting about? Am I doing content in a similar way so that I can aggregate the attention, at least hyper-localized, to sell through the inventory that I have, right?
In consideration.
It's a simple decision from there. If the answer is I'm all in, cool, then do what it's going to take to be all in, because you look at Alex, I think he's a beacon of light. We talk about that. As a beacon of light, he's like, okay, $7,500 tax credit went away. I'm selling used EVs.
Yep.
And you know what? Let's open up another store there. And let's open up another store there. So there's obviously a path. If your answer is, I don't know, I just kind of wish it was easier, pull the plug and get out.
See ya.
Yeah, that's my 2 cents for what it's worth.
Tell us how you really feel.
Tell us how you really
2
feel.
cents Canadian is like
0.8 cents.
It's like 0.8 cents in the US. It's struggling.
Free US is 25 bucks Canadian.
We don't make sense anymore. We stopped making the pennies.
Speaking of making sense.
There you go.
Segue.
A massive agency that we know and follow is making a ton of sense with their new anti-trend report. VaynerMedia came out with it and is arguing that social trends are collapsing faster than ever, making 2026 the year that brands stop chasing virality and start pursuing genuine relevance. With algorithms fragmenting attention, emotional connection becomes the new competitive advantage. The report says that trend fatigue is accelerating. Trends now fade 14 times faster than they used to, and 1/3 of consumers think brands jumping on viral trends is, quote, embarrassing.
I think my kids would say cringe.
Cringe. Platforms are blurring. TikTok layouts show up on Instagram. Facebook style text posts appear everywhere, meaning content format matters more than platform identity. Audience are expecting authenticity, not broadcasts. Brands must create two-way social conversations, not passive content streams. Alan Blair, SVP and head of strategy at VaynerMedia, said in 2026, the brands that win won't be those who shout the loudest, but those who show up the most real.
Okay. Listen to me. If you're watching this, if you are not ready to disrupt yourself and reinvent your social media strategy, you will lose.
Does this mean, what does this mean for the drop it like it's hot videos that all the 43-year-olds
6,
say?
7.
Don't do it. Stop. Well, look, maybe when you did it like a year ago, but they're saying now when you jump on a trend, it's over before it began. And if you're in retail automotive, chances are we caught on to the trend a little bit later, so it is over.
Can I just toot a horn real quick?
I don't know how to respond to that.
Have we not been saying this for years now? That the actual viral is authenticity?
Yeah.
I'll see myself out.
Okay, goodbye. All right, he's leaving. But I think we've done enough damage.
You've done enough.
Here today. Why don't we roll the outro music? We have a team meeting to get to. And we're going to tell our team the same thing we just told
Same
you.
exact thing.
We have to disrupt ourselves before somebody else disrupts us. That is our encouragement to you. And we're here for you. We're here for you. Whatever. We're disrupting you.
All right, boy.